crowd freezes as Filipino teen channels Elvis loudly crying sparkles golden buzzer chaos. The stage lights flickered as a hush fell over the audience. A young Filipino teen, barely 17, stepped onto the Ireland's Got Talent stage with trembling hands. His name was Rafael Cruz, a quiet boy from Manila who had spent most of his childhood helping his mother clean houses after school. His clothes were simple, his shoes slightly worn, but there was something in his eyes, a fire, a dream, and a promise that he carried from the streets of home to this massive stage. The judges smiled politely, unsure of what to expect. "What's your name, love?" one of them asked. "Rafael Cruz," he said softly, his accent lilting, his voice almost drowned by nervousness. "And what will you be singing today?" Simon Cowell leaned forward, expression unreadable. Rafael looked down at his hands, then back up. "A song by Elvis Presley, Can't Help Falling in Love." The crowd murmured. Another Elvis song. They'd seen 100 Elvis tributes, all flashy, all imitation. But this boy didn't look like an impersonator. He looked like someone with a story to tell. The music began, slow, delicate, nostalgic. And then Rafael opened his mouth. The first note silenced the theater. His voice was deep yet tender, rich with the old soul of a man who had lived 1,000 lifetimes. It wasn't an imitation of Elvis, it was Elvis, reborn through purity and emotion, through the ache of love and loss, through a spirit that connected everyone in the room. The audience froze, not in disbelief, but in reverence. Rafael sang as though he was praying. Every word trembled with meaning. In that moment, the walls of the studio vanished. Listeners were no longer in Dublin, they were in a time where music healed wounds and gave hope. Tears glistened on cheeks, strangers holding their breath together. Simon Cowell, who had seen everything, was leaning forward, eyes soft, lips parted. When Rafael hit the final line, "Take my hand, take my whole life too," his voice cracked, just slightly. But that tiny imperfection made it real, human, unforgettable. The song ended. Silence followed, deep and holy. Then, chaos. The crowd erupted, screaming, crying, cheering. One of the judges slammed the golden buzzer with such force it startled even Simon. Golden confetti rained down like blessings from heaven. Rafael stood there, motionless, tears streaming down his face. His hands covered his mouth in disbelief. For a boy who grew up singing to cracked walls and dusty fans in a small apartment, this moment felt like a dream too bright to be real. But amid the roaring applause, something extraordinary happened. As the crew rushed in to congratulate him, Rafael suddenly turned back to the mic. "Wait, please," he said, his voice shaky. Can I say something?" The audience quieted again. "I didn't come here just for me," he said, looking down at the stage floor, then back up with teary eyes. "My mom's been sick for a while. She used to sing Elvis songs to me when I was little. She said his songs made her forget pain, even for a minute. I wanted to make her proud. I wanted the world to know what her love sounds like." A gasp swept through the theater. Even the judges blinked back tears. He paused, voice breaking. "When she couldn't work anymore, I sang on the streets, just enough to buy her medicine. Every time I sang, I imagined Elvis smiling down, saying, 'Keep going, kid.' That's how I got here. This golden buzzer," he looked at the glittering confetti covering his arms. "This isn't mine, it's hers." The crowd stood up again, this time not in excitement, but in awe. The cameras captured Simon Cowell wiping his eyes, something no one expected. He walked onto the stage, hugged Rafael tightly, and whispered, "Your mother raised a legend." Backstage, producers learned something else. Rafael had donated half his audition travel fund to another contestant who couldn't afford the ticket home. "He needed it more than I did," Rafael had said, shrugging. That revelation spread online within hours. The clip of his performance and his humble words exploded across the internet, watched by millions around the world. Comments flooded in from every corner. "Greater than, I felt my heart heal listening to him. That wasn't just a performance, that was love singing. Elvis would have been proud." Days later, Rafael appeared again on stage, this time with a video playing behind him. It showed his mother, watching from a hospital bed in Manila, smiling through her tears. She waved at the screen and said, "That's my boy." The crowd broke down again. When Rafael finished his final note, the entire room rose to their feet. It wasn't just applause anymore, it was gratitude. Gratitude for a voice that reminded the world that talent means little without heart, that fame means nothing without kindness. In the end, Rafael didn't just channel Elvis, he channeled love. He proved that music isn't about mimicry or perfection, it's about soul, truth, and giving all of yourself so others can feel less alone. And as he walked off the stage, golden lights glowing behind him, Rafael whispered softly, "This is for you, Mama." Somewhere in the distance, a crowd still frozen in wonder whispered back, "Thank you, Rafael." Because in that moment, on that stage, a teenage boy from the Philippines reminded the whole world what it means to feel human again.